Hey, what's up? You trying to talk about some more Blazblue? Let's talk about more Blazblue. You know, something that people always say about Blazblue is, this game is hard. But why is it hard? Now I'm going to be briefly answering this question as concise as possible. I don't want this shit to be 30 minutes fucking long. Without further ado, let's get straight down to business.
Please select your character.
Now there's a lot of mechanics in this fucking game, but let's just start off with the roster. Now look at the roster. It's pretty lively. There's a fuck ton of people here. There is 36 characters in this game. That's a lot of matchups you need to learn, and every character is completely different. They're not the fucking same. Now there's a mechanic called drive, and every character has a drive mechanic, and what that is a unique ability that every character has, and no other character will have the same drive. So each character plays radically different, and how your drive function depends on what matchup you're going against. It might be easy to use your drive, or you have to completely change the way you play and use your drive in a way you normally wouldn't. Every matchup is so different that it's crazy how awesome the design of this game is. Every character is so unique. Like, you know, our boy Ragnar? He fucking sucks your dick with his drive and steals your fucking health. Jin Kisaragi? He freezes your dick, and he can enhance some of his moves to freeze you even further. Rachel? She can control the wind, and she can pollute the screen with her fucking shit bats and all that bullshit, and change the trajectory of her moves with the fucking wind, and there's multiple directions, and she can use her wind in 8 different directions. That's fucking ridiculous. I love this shit. You know Noelle? She's actually the cross tag battle prototype, and Mai is actually the cross tag battle beta. That's fucking sick, dude. No, it's not. And everybody's favorite character is Anami. She has 2 modes. It's called Exodus Arc. And she can go into a mode where she can shoot fucking pizzas and Doritos and shit at you. And to clarify, the drive mechanics aren't the only thing that makes these characters unique. There's other mechanics, like she can use her grounded normals. Wow, she's fucking floating. What the fuck? Oh yeah, and S can summon Gaio. That's pretty cool too. Alright, you get the point. Let's move on to another mechanic. You know, I've never realized how many types of blocking there are in this game. There's 4 different types of blocking in this game, and they all serve a purpose, and there are differences to these defensive mechanics. Okay, you know what fucking blocking is. It's self-explanatory. You hold back, you block. Now we have insta-blocking, and just like the name implies, you block something right before it's about to hit your guard. You'll know if you did it correctly if your guard flashes white. And the reward is more meter gain, and you recover from block stun 3 frames faster. And then you have barrier block, and it requires its own specific meter to use barrier block, and it negates chip damage, and it also negates crush triggers. It can also push your opponent slowly over time. It gives you an extra frame of block stun. It can block air unblockable moves, and it also prevents you from walking back if there's nothing to block. And then you have instant barrier block, and all it really does is just push your opponent even further than it did before. Now that I've explained what they do, you need to learn what these mechanics do and how to use them effectively, and which guard to specifically use against certain characters in certain situations as well. Because certain characters' drive can be either mitigated or negated depending on what guard you chose. Like, an example is Ragnar. Ragnar's drive allows him to steal your health, right? And the only way to negate his drive completely is to use barrier block against him. Not only does it push him back, which is what you want, it also negates his mechanic from stealing your health. And another example is Naoto Kurogane, and one of his mechanics is when he fully charges his dick and it hits your guard, it actually guard crushes you, and the way to negate that is to barrier block it. How you choose to block depends on the matchup you're going up against, because some characters aren't going to be all that scary and regular blocking will do. And some of the scary characters, you know, like everybody's favorite character is Anami, Rachel, Karos Jr., you know, Valkyrie. Insta blocking is honestly necessary to deal with some of these characters because their fucking block strings can be bullshit. And if you fucking insta block, you can create openings that weren't there previously. So if you really want to play this game at a high level, you really need to understand how to use all of these defensive mechanics, and it requires a lot of time to spend in training mode, figuring out the block strings, where the openings are. Alright, let's move on to recovery options, and there's also a multitude of recovery options in this game. There's like 5 ways to recover in this game. You have neutral tech, forward tech, back tech, quick tech, crumble recovery tech, and you can delay the timing of your tech and mess up your opponent's melee time or whatever offensive decision they made. And of course, this also applies to air teching as well. Each recovery option has like different properties and different advantages and uses, but these options aren't always guaranteed to escape from your opponent's Okizami. So you need to make sure to carefully use certain recovery options in certain situations, and also understand that not every knockdown has to be respected. But your opponent can catch your rolls if they make the correct read and start another juicy combo. And speaking of combos, executing combos in this fucking game can vary a lot. You got your easy characters, not so easy, then what the fuck? Combo structures and execution required in this game varies a lot again. Some characters will be easier to pick up and do simple combos like nothing, and then you choose another character like Hakumen, and you're wondering why the fuck can't I get into anything. You want to learn a waifu, you look at the roster, you see 9, you take a look at her fucking move list and you're confused as fuck on how to combo. Characters in this game combo are extremely different from each other because again, their drive. Tsubaki, shut the fuck up, Virgil. You have Tsubaki, in order to execute some of her big damaging combos, requires her to charge her drive throughout the match and enhance her moves with that drive meter. Susanoo starts off with his specials locked and has to unlock them throughout the match. And so his combos are structured with his drive unlocking his specials, and the goal is to unlock whichever special you need. A good majority of the cast requires a lot of precision time to do these combos. Even if they're easy, even if the character's drive is simple like Jin, he still has hard combos to execute. You start implementing these micro dashes in the combos, and that's when you start to wonder if this character is really easy. Can you fucking dash second Jin? That shit is mad hard. You're micro dashing at 2-2 input, man. Then you got Naoto, that's all about that shit. His combos are fucking ridiculous. You need some outrageous execution for these combos. You can't do that baby shit. You have to do that optimal shit. And certain combos require certain conditions like crouch confirms, counter hits, counter hit carry, and fatal counters. Fatal counters depend on which move you use because not every move is a fatal, and typically characters have 1 or 2 fatal starters. Oh my god, there's so much to this game. It's hard to cover everything, but I need to move on. We ain't got a fucking day. So now let's talk about Overdrive. What this mechanic does is it puts you into a powered up Super Saiyan form for a certain amount of time that is fully invincible in startup, and enhances your drive moves, gives them new properties that weren't there before. And this opens up a plethora of new options, and it's fucking phenomenal. Ranging from new combo routes to new block strings and mix-up opportunities, enhanced supers, or another way to gain resources for your drive. This mechanic just adds so much to an already intricate game. And let's like fucking add even more to this shit. And there are 3 ways to activate Overdrive. There's Raw Overdrive, Overdrive Cancel, and Overdrive Raid. And there's a time limit to this mechanic. Sorry, it's only temporary, my guy. And the amount of time that can elapse from your overdrive depends on how much health you currently have. The lower your health means the more time you'll have at your disposal. Every 10% of your health that you lose adds half of a fucking second to your overdrive. And depending how you activate your overdrive will change the amount of time you have. If you overdrive cancel or overdrive raid, it will cut your time in half, which doesn't leave you much time to take advantage of the mechanic. Overdrive also freezes the timer, and when you want to end your overdrive, you end it with another mechanic called Exceed Excel, which will put you into active flow if you weren't in it already. What the fuck is active flow? What the fuck is Exceed Excel? You know what? I'm not gonna explain it. But anyways, you're gonna need a lot of situational awareness and be prepared on how you're gonna use your overdrive. You have to be able to make decisions fast and execute a combo within the time limit because you typically want to end it in Exceed Excel. Or if it's gonna kill, you would end it with an enhanced super. And again, combos aren't the only way to use overdrive. It can be used as a defensive mechanic through overdrive raid, which allows you to cancel out all block stun and have a chance to get back on the offensive. So you have to be careful on how you structure your block strings and to not have long recovery attacks against opponents who like to react to your block strings with overdrive. But you won't always have your overdrive, so it's not as obnoxious as I might be portraying it to be. A lot of the characters' overdrives again are radically different, and it is a lot to learn again, and needing to understand what their overdrive enhances are crucial. This mechanic will pop in often, and while at first you don't have to learn overdrive combos, you don't necessarily need them to win, but at a high level, you need to have a lot of knowledge and good understanding of how to use it effectively and figure out what other characters can do in their overdrive. And also, your burst is tied to your overdrive, so you're gonna have to think carefully in how to use both your burst and overdrive. Because if you burst in a combo, you lose access to overdrive for the whole round. Your chances of getting that shit back are fucking slim to none. Unless the round ends up dragging on, you're most likely not getting that shit back, at least until the next round you'll get it back. Overdrive does a fantastic job fleshing out the characters and not making the characters feel bloated in any way. Uh-oh, we out of time. We're out of time. Woo. I hope this gives you a good idea why this game is hard. I know I didn't cover everything and didn't cover some of the things in this video in great detail, but the whole point was to be as concise as possible. I hope I didn't intimidate you from playing this game. This game is fucking sick, and it's one of the best fighting games out there right now. If you're looking for easy characters to pick up, the ones that I recommend that are simple to pick up and easy combos but hard to master are Ragna, Jin, and S. Those three characters are probably the best for beginners, I say. Let's go to sleep.